Alright. Wish I could do a live stream thing or whatever the hell it is. We don't have a setup that's nice enough for that, so just have to make do. I just kind of wanted to talk about Capcom for a little bit. Meaning, well, it seems as if a bunch of people have essentially abandoned Capcom in lots of ways. If you're aware of the political implications of Devil May Cry reboot, and things therein, it was made in the Unreal Engine and basically made in secret, and then released at the last minute, so that Capcom couldn't receive any flack that would stop it from being developed. Because the Unreal Engine is made for to make games quickly. And so I've decided to create this new kind of subdivision, carbon fiber classes, whatever the hell, but make a specific spot for Capcom things. Because, you know, unearthing old things, going fast, or horror things, whatever. So, I just kind of want to talk about Capcom for a little bit, because I've heard some things that seem completely and utterly contradictory to the majority of when people just played video games now. Now I have to be honest with you, as someone who plays video games, I'm in kind of a quandary because I don't like them. They've grown too political to be fun. I've taken down my wheel, my Gran Turismo wheel, because the FI has essentially seemingly invalidated all the telemetry, or is trying to invalidate the telemetry by something like a 10 percentile or something like that, which means 90% truth, 10% lie for automotive racing theory is the death sentence. I'm sorry, you have to be able to trust your training or practice. If you can't, and it is implied that your training is completely correct by it saying, say, driving simulator on the cover of your game, based on FI involvement, I just have to say no. I have to, like, in my experience, whatever that might be, so I'm not going to go into detail and all this crap here. The other political avenue of video games is YouTube. As in, video games are one of two things. They're either entertainment or they're a means to eat, and people are trying to make them more of a means to eat. So, how do you do that? You do that by wanting to be taken seriously, so you put up a video of you being the best of whatever. And if I was going to do that, I would look up some speed runs or something, and then attempt to, what I could steal from that video, emulate and do better in some way to edge out a faster time. That's not what I'm going to do here. I'm going to play it as you would have played it back in the day, because that's what you would have done. You would just played it. There'd be no internet to help you. I was given a card that tells you the weaknesses of each boss or something. I grew up with Mega Man X. I did grow up with Mega Man, but I didn't play it. My friend had a Super Nintendo down the street. I had a Sega Genesis. Currently, Sega Mini. It's Sega keeping my interest in video games alive, plus some, you know, some homework. And even that's on PS3. And even that is House of the Dead overkill for the most part. It's a very select group of people or companies that just don't piss me off. That push me forward to continue playing video games. If Sega had not come out with the Mini, this conversation would not be happening, at least as far as video games are concerned. And a big part of my I guess, childhood or something like that was Capcom. And people are claiming that one thing I've heard relative to Capcom is if Capcom fails, everyone else succeeds. I beg to differ. And here's why. Okay. Oh, here it is. Wow. She'll be interested to find out about that. Oh. Found my Virtua Fighter 3rd 3TB, which I'm going to talk about anyways. Anyhow, like, I've got my Street Fighter 4 strategy guide and all this. Whatever. Hold on. It's here. I don't want to get all this crap out of here. Yeah, old strategy guide for Street Fighter 2. Rating games, or who made it? Forget. This is Game Pro, Jesus God. But basically Capcom, for lack of a better term, got me into fighting games. The argument is that Bloody Roar Primal Fury, GameCube, launch title, pretty nice, etc. There's other things besides fighting game strategy guides in here, but the majority you'll find are strategy guides. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. An excuse for people to call you perverted. Even though now they feature Virtua Fighter characters in it, so we have to get to the prospect of cheating in fighting games and whatnot. Street Fighter Alpha Anthology. Just, you know, we're going to focus just kind of on Capcom stuff and fighting stuff. If you want to watch me like play Megaman here, you know, like, I'd like to record a lot because there's a lot of me just like cursing, which people like to watch. They like to watch people pissed off while playing these video games. Well, in some cases it is kind of funny. I mean, I'm a fan of AVGN. Although that is kind of more character, like a more scripted character type thing, with like unscripted things that were taken for ideas, for script ideas, and etc. I don't know, this is just me raw playing the game. I'm not a Mega Man expert, and I don't claim to be. I mean, I know the lore, and I like the lore a lot. Again, played more Mega Man X. I'm just gonna play it as you would play it back in the day. So, any screw-ups and all that other crap is just what it is. If I can record it with just me like cursing and the way I talk, then I'll do that. But until then, like, this will just be kind of like our test setup or something. Essentially what I've found is people are saying that if Capcom should fail, everyone else succeeds because it opens up the avenue for other people to succeed. I disagree. Not humbly or arrogantly, I disagree. It's because under the basis of me playing Capcom games that I even gave Dead or Alive, Virtua Fighter, Soul Calibur, Tekken, Tekken 3 right here. So I got some stuff to do in the PlayStation Classic. I gave anyone the time of day. It was basically the idea of having a main fighting game, and then you would have like subordinate fighting games after that. simply having one company fail does not help other companies. If anything, what the dichotomy between Namco and Capcom, because as arcade brethren in Japan, their rivalry is what, in a lot of cases, been keeping many things alive in Japan. And one of the reasons because I've a family member of mine, she is very deeply invested in Virtua Fighter, because it's kind of it's like a Japanese, like, as far as arcade games go, it's kind of like the baseball of, like, if you had like one of the American equivalent, it's like the baseball of stuff. People have been cheating in that. The concept of cheating in fighting games is why I no longer care about fighting. I no longer own an arcade stick. That's not the fault of Capcom. But we're getting into a different topic entirely. Basically, Capcom, to me, relative to my life, relative to my dedication to whatever you'd like to call it, at least back in the day, fighting games and the like, and the lore or whatever, Soul Calibur 4 and whatever, and Mortal Kombat 9, and like when it was released on 420, if anyone remembers that. And back in the day, video game companies, you know, had the guts to release a game on a day where everybody was smoking weed. Now, I don't know why I still have that. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you know, Virtua Fighter 5. Got a Final Fantasy 7 strategy guide because I got some PS1 homework to do, but Virtua Fighter 5, there it is. Oh, God. Oh. Bushido Blade 2. Good luck, Bushido Blade 1. There's like another strategy guide over there. Anyways. No, it's like, I would not have given any games the time of day had it not been for Capcom. I wouldn't have played King of Fighters. I wouldn't have played anything. And so, for my money anyways, like, if you were to buy Street Fighter, what is it, 5 arcade, OE, Master, Super Edition? I don't know, because I haven't been paying too much attention, because the only thing I see in fighting games is now not so much what I'm interested in. Like, Street Fighter 5 basically being, let's say just an example, does not have an arcade mode of value. There's not like a lot of exhibition matches that are not, like, say, just people who are of high skill that are not either inclined to throw matches or cheat. Now, with respect, as far as like the professional gaming world, I don't know. I try not to pay attention. I've seen a couple of things. It wouldn't even have occurred to me, you know, some years ago, that there'd be people that will use, you know, altered priority of attacks, or they'll take out like recovery frames out of an attack, or to pretty much make an otherwise impossible combo possible. It won't tell anybody. Or will just generally change the overall properties of some sort of super in and of itself. Didn't occur to me. These things, if that makes me stop playing fighting games, at least taking them seriously, and any kind of like, if I am forced to play online with people who I know will cheat, like, why do I care? Hence why I don't have an arcade stick, why I generally just don't care about games, not just fighting games. Had it not been for Sega, which again has Street Fighter on it. Like, so yeah, this is basically just me, I don't know, just trying to support Capcom in this time where I see what I What I think I'm seeing is basically a bunch of people jumping ship on Capcom. And it's bothering me. So I just went out and bought Megaman Legacy with no other pretense than to just make a Capcom video to be like, no, there's somebody who, like, gives a crap. I had no plans of being, like, the best Mega Man player or whatever. But this had to be just kind of stated. Why I don't care about fighting games now, never mind, like, just personal growth or whatever the hell that might be, is that people cheating. I've taken the averages of frame data, I've looked about, and I've found all kinds of crazy, like, people creating new chain link combos in Street Fighter 4, low mediums to things that can't be canceled into for the purposes of creating their own custom target combos, and not telling anybody, and just basically passing this off as real. Jury's feng shui engine basically lasting like a whole minute. What is it? No recovery, like pretty much like probably like I think 15 recovery frames off of Akuma's like light Shoryuken to a heavy Tatsumaki that's going to have slower startup than the regular forms. All kinds of nonsense. But at the same time, it's like Capcom is the source of why anybody would probably give a fighting game a chance to fucking begin with. Alright? So the idea that Capcom should fail to make other people better, I don't think that's really a legitimate claim or fair. I think Capcom is not really trying to make some kind of a weird segue, but why not? A gateway fighting game to other fighting games. Like, you're not going to play Guilty Gear unless you played Street Fighter 2. You're not going to play Skullgirls, though you will get the pervert card because there's panty shots in it. Sorry. Is it a good fighting game? Yes, but you will get the pervert card. And people are going to look at you like you're some kind of weirdo because you're playing this game with this weird chick with a stupid hat that helps her beat the crap out of things. Like, is it well made? Yes, but you're going to look like a weirdo to these people. My point is, Capcom, while not trying to be like all like some sort of trying to like promote some kind of strange prestigious idea that there's some sort of end-all be-all fighting game company now that there's all these other fighting games out on the market. But as a base, like, don't try to unfound Capcom as something. Maybe that's not what these people are saying or actually trying to do. But based on the politics of the new Street Fighter being released and certain things Devil May Cry 5 I don't even want to get into. Yeah. Capcom is important to the growth of any fighting game community, pretty much. It's the foundation why people even care about fighting games to begin with. Myself included and other people as well. So, it's like, so peace, Capcom. I'll make more Mega Man things in the future, and I hope everything is well. Take care.